Hey guys, it's Josh from Guitar Kodgers, and first of all, we wanted to thank all the people that have watched and subscribed to the channel so far. We really appreciate it. We hope you've enjoyed stuff so far. What's the show about today? Well, we're going to visit more stores in the future, but today we want to talk about some of the great music stores that are no longer with us and have slipped into the history of Australian music. We're going to talk about stores from all over the country. First of all, let's look at some stores in Sydney that have disappeared and gone and slipped into folklore.
Today we're going to be having a little listen to Ben, but we're also going to be talking about something that's quite close to the heart of a lot of the guitarists and musicians in Sydney at the moment, and that is the slow demise of the guitar shop, or rather maybe a streamlining of the guitar shops, but definitely there are quite a few that have been shutting down over the last 5 to 10 years, I'd say. Some of this we think might be caused by various causes like COVID, lockdowns, the internet, but I want to get sort of a few people's opinion on it, so we'll be talking to Ben.
I used to spend a lot of time on Parramatta Road when I was younger anyway, just kind of guitar shop hopping. And one thing I've noticed whenever I drive down Parramatta Road now is there are still several guitar shops there. Like there isn't necessarily an absence of, but it's not what it once was.
They're not so close together anymore.
Not at all. Like I think I had this idea before when I was thinking about this. I was talking to a friend about this at a coffee the other day. It was as though there was like an arcade of of guitar shops, and you could actually just kind of get off a bus, whatever it might be, and go guitar shop hopping.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not the case anymore, I think, because they're all quite spread out. I mean, naturally you have Penguin Vintage here in Paddington, which is very new. You have Sunburst over in Coogee, which I frequent regularly as well. Of course, you have the larger ones like Manny's in Alexandria, and several online stores, which I have noticed actually to be a real resurgence. I think post-COVID especially.
I think Warren was telling me earlier on as well that Manny's used to be Gallons, or rather
I've heard this before, yes.
And they took over the site and moved
nice.
Okay, well, why don't you play something?
Okay, sure.
Okay, thanks Nick, that's awesome stuff from Sydney. Some of those amazing stores, they're gone but not forgotten. Let's look at some stores in Melbourne. Allen's Music Store, which began in 1850 when these guys opened the first store in Collins Street, Melbourne. The store sold all manner of instruments, had teaching suites, along with a heap of other musical services located within its multi-storied building. The business eventually extended to stores in Sydney and Adelaide to become a national company. In a nasty turn, though, the Collins Street location suffered from this massive fire in 1955 and was duly relocated to the Burke Street address. I bought this Gibson Explorer, my first and only Gibson guitar, and this Squire Precision bass. From Allen's, as well as countless sets of strings, accessories, all kinds of things. Used to go in, have great chats with all the store workers there, the guys and girls. It was fantastic. It was a huge store that was always so exciting to walk into, with as many instruments, rooms, floors, employees and customers. It had a full floor dedicated to sheet music and popular songbooks, chord books, etc. Something that's been almost entirely relegated to the internet now, which is not an altogether bad thing, but the value of those tactile books with pictures and helpful tips to budding and advanced musicians was undeniable. Around the early 2000s, Allen's began to fall victim to the ease of online purchasing or whatever other factors that led to the decline in retail sales. And despite a moderately successful amalgamation with Gallen's Music and then Billy Hyde's Music, it eventually went into administration and it disappeared altogether by 2018. A major loss to not only the music world, but the retail and cultural face of Melbourne's CBD. Gone, but not entirely forgotten. In 2019, we lost one of Melbourne's great little music shops run solely by the great Roger Lewis. Lewis's Music was a small but popular shop that existed for 55 years. It was launched after Roger returned from London, having completed an instrument repair apprenticeship. The store was located on Russell Street. It was just around the corner from Allen's on Burke Street, but that didn't stop him from doing repairs and a reasonable trade in sales for 5 decades, at the end of which he was ready to retire and close the store. I bought all of these harmonicas there, many sets of strings and various other bits and pieces. It was always so handy to drop in, have a chat with Roger. He was knowledgeable about nearly every element of music and the instruments that created. I remember there was a very old Maton guitar hanging over the inside doorway, which he claimed was the first or second guitar produced at that company's conception. It may have been this guitar, I can't be certain, it looked very similar. The store is gone, but the instruments, knowledge and advice that Roger dealt out live on in homes and musical performance venues, and they'll live on for a long, long time to come, hopefully. Thanks, Roger Lewis, for your amazing contribution to Melbourne's music scene for such a long time.
Guitar Kodgers.
Okay, well, that's been Guitar Kodgers for today. Look, we'd like to ask viewers to share any stories or pics or anything related to closed Australian music stores, anything that you've done or own, or any stories you've got about those old Aussie music stores that are now gone. Next week, we'll be back with visits to new stores and new stories. Please like, subscribe, and hit notify on our channel and share the love. We might write a song about that.
Guitar Kodgers. Guitar Kodgers. Guitar Kodgers. Guitar Kodgers.